All right, guys, welcome to the Buscemi Family Channel. Today, what I'd like to prove to the audience is that the stock market is absolutely manipulated. I'm going to try to prove that thesis. Getting a little bit more specific with my thesis, SNDL, formerly known as Sundial Growers, is grossly manipulated by hedge funds, large banks, institutional investors. I'm going to try to prove that to you here. Subscribe to the channel. If you believe I'm full of it, go ahead and comment down below. If you agree, comment down below. Let's get right into it. Okay, guys, real quick, disclaimer. You should not be buying stocks based off of anything that I'm saying here. These are my personal opinions. This is not stock advice, yada, yada. The first thing I want to show you is my YouTube channel. You'll see that I have a variety of interests. It's called the Buscemi Family Channel because it features my family. It talks a little bit about my son getting his braces off. You know, we got California closets. I wrote a book and I'm promoting the book, etc., etc. One of my interests is investing. I think like many Americans, I invest in the stock market, and through doing so, I've learned many things. And I want to bring some of that to you all here today to try to prove my thesis. So let's jump right into it and say, what is SNDL currently trading at? Right now, SNDL is trading at $1.34. If you look at the 5 days, it got as high as 140. 1 month, it got as high as 148. 6 months, got as high as 2.17. 1 year, 2.15. The point that I'm making here is it's been trading in this corridor, this terrible corridor, for some time now, years, right? And anyone that's a retail investor who follows this stock knows that there was a reverse split some time ago that really was unfavorable to the retail investor. Again, setting the stage, it's trading at 1.34, 1.35, and by the way, it's green, which is very unique for this stock. Let's get right into who is SNDL. If you come to SNDL's website, there'll be a little video. I'm not going to play the video for you. I will say the video is very well done. I'm just going to quickly read this blurb to you because I think it crystallizes exactly who they are. Our teams are committed to the development and distribution of high-quality, trusted products for responsible consumption through multiple retail banner experiences in liquor and cannabis. It started out as a cannabis company, and now it's delved into retail liquor. Other companies are doing the same. I assume they're doing that for an increased revenue stream or another revenue stream. I know Tilray did something with liquor as well, or with, you know, kind of beer or liquor or whatever it might be. Again, the assumption is that it's another revenue stream. Additionally, the barriers in the cannabis market are not easy. Right? It's a saturated market. You're seeing a lot of companies go out of business. You're also seeing unfavorable legislation. It's a cash business and safe banking is not allowed, and it still hasn't passed because of all the political wranglings. There's an abundance of inventory and therefore saturation of inventory. There's so many challenges in the cannabis industry, and that's why you're seeing a lot of companies go out of business. But speaking specifically about SNDL, cannabis, and liquor retail. So let's get into real quick. And again, if you follow me through, I'm trying to prove my thesis that this is a manipulated stock. And please comment down below. But the first thing I'd like to show to prove that point is the book value of SNDL. Taking a look at SNDL's kind of financial information, you could see here that the book value is around $5 a share. I just showed you that it's trading at 1.34, 1.35, which means if you multiply 1.34, 1.35 by 3 or even 3.5, then you'll be around book value. So what this means is it's trading 3.5 times less than book value. Think about that. 3.5 times. It's trading grotesquely below book value. Not just a little, grotesquely below book value. Taking a look at another metric, price to book ratio, 0.36. Now, these are just numbers on a page. I'm going to try to give you all some of my reasoning to bring light to these numbers. Let's get into what's the definition of book value. For value investors, book value is the sum of the amounts of all the line items in the shareholders' equity section of a company's balance sheet. I found something on this page that I think will really crystallize what book value means. Book value is the value of the company's total assets minus its total liabilities. So let's kind of put that on SNDL. If you take all of the assets that SNDL has, their inventory, their buildings, and so forth and so on, the machinery, and you subtract all their liabilities, that equals $5 or roughly $5 a share. Remember, it's trading at 134, 135 a share. Again, grossly under book value. Now let's take a look. I showed you what price to book is, which is 0.36. Let's take a look at what that actually means. Many investors use the price to book ratio to compare a firm's market capitalization to its book value and locate undervalued companies. Let's take a look at this bullet point. Price to book ratios under 1. Remember, SNDL is 0.36. Price to book ratios under 1 are typically considered solid investments by value investors. It's grossly under 1. So it should be considered the most ridiculously good value investment by this definition. Let's talk about what an asset is, right? Let's talk about what an asset is because book value is assets minus liabilities and so forth. So essentially it's what is the fair market value of an asset? I want to take you to the website Carvana. And the reason why I want to take you to Carvana is because a car is an asset. A house is an asset. If you want to know the value of your vehicle, you could come to Carvana and you could say, I want to know the value, learn more. You'll put in your VIN number, you'll put in the make and model of your car, and essentially it'll spit out what the fair market value of your car is. If you want to get the fair market value of your home, you'll go to a realtor, and that realtor will say, how many bathrooms, how many bedrooms, what are the comparables in the community, and so forth. And when they do that, they'll spit out what they consider a fair market value. So the question becomes, why is the fair market value of SNDL's assets so far undervalued, so disgustingly undervalued? Now let's take a look at something called dark pool. What is dark pool? And remember, I'm proving my thesis to you all, right? Dark pools are private asset exchanges designed to provide additional liquidity and anonymity for trading large blocks of securities away from the public eye. So essentially, a dark pool is a privately organized financial forum or exchange for trading securities used by institutional investors. Who are institutional investors? Large banks, mutual funds, hedge funds. Hedge funds. Let's take a look at this. We're going to ask Google, do hedge funds use dark pools? And let's see what it spits out. Dark pools allow investors to trade without any public exposure. So what we're learning here is that banks, mutual funds, and hedge funds can trade large blocks of stocks without any public accountability under complete anonymity. It's favorable for investors such as hedge funds and activist investors. So now we know, right, that dark pools are used by institutional investors, namely hedge funds. Again, namely hedge funds. Now let's take a look at SNDL's dark pool volume. And by the way, this is all publicly consumed information. All right, what you're looking at here is right now, 36.47% of SNDL's volume is off exchange or in the dark pool. But that's just today. And by the way, that's low compared to what we're going to show you right now. Historically, let's just take a look down here on 2-1, 44%, 2-2, 50%, 2-5, 62%, 2-6, 51, 27, 51, 28, 53. I could go on and on and on. What this is saying is that half, roughly, on average, half of the volume of SNDL is traded off exchange. So one has to come to the conclusion that because half of the volume is off exchange in the dark pools, again, hedge funds, institutional investors, they are controlling or have some semblance of control over the stock. So the question becomes is, why, if a car has fair market value, why, if a house has a fair market value, why do hedge funds get to tell you and I what the fair market value of the inventory of SNDL is, of the machinery, of the buildings? It's absurdity. It's complete and utter absurdity. And the SEC does nothing. And Zach George, the CEO, says nothing. Hedge funds are manipulating the stock. There's no other way to take this information other to say that 50% of the volume is controlled by hedge funds and other institutional investors in an effort to bring the stock price down. It's grossly under book value. Hedge funds do not have the right to tell you what the fair market value of a building is or what the fair market value of SNDL's inventory is. But that's what they're doing, and there's no checks and balances over anything that they're doing. Guys, I'm not sure if I proved my thesis or not. Subscribe to the channel, comment down below. Thanks for watching.